Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, I'm Jesse.
Welcome to our podcast about relationship.
You've heard all the other relationship podcasts before. Now listen to one more.
I love our intro.
This is.
It's so cheesy. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody been?
Good.
Yeah?
I'm the one who's like speaking for everybody out there. I'm Olivia.
I'm Jesse.
And we are going to talk about a lot of things today. Where do we start? Oh, what about we start from
At the beginning. Doy.
What about we start from what you've been up to?
It's been a while since the last podcast. I feel like I'm always saying the same thing. Like, I've just been working a lot and, like, animating and drawing. It's the usual.
How is your dating life, Jesse?
That's good right now.
Yeah.
It's uneventful, but I kind of like it that way.
Anything exciting?
No, I'm just content, happy.
Any hot, passionate sex?
I'm not going to talk about that on the podcast. You can. I'm okay.
He's all blushing. He's like, he's all red. He's like, oh, no. I'm the opposite.
That's why we're a good match, because we're opposites.
I guess. Opposites attract. And all that.
Or they repel if they're... Oh, wait.
What?
No, never mind. I was going to make a magnet joke, but that's actually why that saying is a thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. What have I been up to? Work. Been volunteering with the Open Northwest, a PDX poly community.
It's a good group.
They got free advertising here. It's a meetup group for polyamorous people in Portland, Oregon. So if you're in Portland, Oregon, feel free to find us on Meetup. So yeah, been busy with that. We're going to have like an appreciation day that where we're gonna invite the whole community. So I've been busy organizing that and also doing social media for the organization, and been nursing a heartbreak that been going on for almost 2 months now.
I think so. That's kind of the topic we wanted to talk about, is like breakups and stuff.
Breakup and the poo-poo stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's not gonna pick him up. That's our cat, Gizmo. I don't think they'll hear him.
Oh, even if they do, that's Gizmo. Even if you don't, there's Gizmo down
He's
there.
the third star of the show.
Yeah, so long story short is that I broke up with my long distance partner due to various reasons. But I think the main thing is that we had like a communication breakdown that was like so bad that I feel that none of us can repair it in, this period of lifetime. I'm laughing about it now, but it was just really hard, right? I mean, that's the tricky part about dating, is that you don't know about someone and how they are interacting with you or communicating with you, or how, they can argue with you and then not take it to heart and treat situation as a bad situation that needs to be fixed, instead of like taking it like personally and be like, I'm a bad person, or she's not happy with me.
That's the hard part about dating, is you don't realize who someone is until you're like months into the relationship.
Yeah, and it was just hard because I'm a type of person when, with Jesse or with any partners that I have or had, or, even with my friends and family, I try to be open and honest and communicating. And I'm a firm believer of nonviolent communication. And
I only believe in violence. It solves everything.
but that's the problem with my ex-partner that I just, ended the relationship with. He doesn't even know about nonviolent communication, right?
So, can you explain what nonviolent communication is?
Nonviolent communication for me, is the way that if I speak with someone, I'm going to use the sentence that start with I feel instead of accusing someone that, they're doing something wrong or, they're being malicious on purpose. So when I feel, say, when I'm feeling irritated that, this person is, forgot about doing something for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, I feel, that, there is a miscommunication about, doing this task or something like that. And that way, it's not in the way like, why did you forget to do this?
Mm-hmm.
That seems violent.
I think it's probably not part of the definition, but something for nonviolent communication for me is not using words like never and always. Like, a lot of times in arguments, people will say, like, you always forget to do the dishes.
Yeah.
Which, is probably not the case. Like, there's no absolutes. So.
Yeah. But yeah, he doesn't even know about nonviolent communication. And then I explained it to him, and he was like, so why they call it nonviolent communication? That sounds like a violent thing. And I was like, what?
Oh.
I was just so confused by that. I was like, see, even like explaining things like that to him, it's kind of like become this argument that I don't even know. Like, why is this even an argument?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have a very different communication style. And then also my metamor was just not a good person.
Metamor being his partner.
Yeah, metamor is his partner. It's not like she's not a good person. I'm sure she's lovely. I mean, I met her once in person, but she just has so much drama. And I don't know if we want to get into that, but pretty much like before I even met her, she blocked me on Facebook for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like kind of like, why is this person judging me?
Well, she had a reason, even if it might be irrational.
Yeah, but yeah, just like from the start, everything is just like, gave me red flags.
Mm.
But I just ignored it.
If you'd like to learn more about red flags, check out our... I don't even know what episode number it was. I think it was the one before this one.
No. I think
6? 5?
2.
2? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Google it.
But I just ignored... Well, I didn't ignore it. I mean, like, I took it into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
But because I love my ex,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of like just like, oh, we will thrive. We will soar. We will make it work. We'll conquer all these obstacles
I'm
together.
picturing all these romantic book cover illustrations in my head.
Oh, yeah. Nope. It's hard when, like, I feel like he's the only person that willing to work in the relationship, and he's not. It's like carrying the burden of, like, fixing the relationship, and he's very passive, and he's just, like, not very active. Like, we had issues with communication, so I suggested, books, suggested podcasts, like Polyamory, which is like, kind of like our Bible in a way for polyamory.
I don't know if I'd put it that way, but they're very good. They offer a lot of tools. It's a great podcast.
For me, it is, I even like selected the episodes, including the long distance relationship one, but he just never bothered to listen to it.
Put forth the effort.
Yeah, there's no effort from him. So it's just hard. And yeah, I just had to end it because it just started to pretty much damaging myself, in a way that I question a lot about myself, of my self-worth, and about, why, like, even though it's not my fault, right? I keep thinking that it is because the situation make it look that way. And then before we broke up, he was all paranoid about like us cannot be friends after we broke up. Then we broken up, and then we took like couple of weeks to analyze if we can be friends. And then, well, before we broke up, I promised him like, hey, I will be your friend, because I'm friends with all my exes.
Which I can't really do.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
it's very admirable.
So after that, I told him like, yeah, let's be friends. And he's like, well, at first he was like kind of like play hot and cold, You know how it is like when we're texting and then like the person's just like answering one word.
If they put a period at the end of it, it's
yeah.
like, oh, my heart.
yeah. Yeah. And then, but there are times that he needed me. And then so he's like, reach out, right? And then I'm just like so tired of it. So I was like, hey, do you want to be my friends or not? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. And I feel that's really shitty because
it's hard to deal with.
He was like the one who's paranoid about the whole like, can we be friends after we broke up? And then we broken up and he was the one who's like, I don't know if I can be your friends. It's just like, oh my God. Yeah, that's like, and then so at this point, we're not talking. And that's like hurt me again because I feel like now I'm losing a friend. And
I'm sure you miss them too.
Yeah, and I do miss him. And, but I have to separate myself from that relationship, whatever it is, because that's just not good for me.
Yeah, if it's not good for you. And I'm really sorry it didn't work out too.
Yeah, but but that's the thing though about breakups, that we kind of want to talk about today on like how to not properly breaking up. I don't want to call it properly.
I kind of like to talk about just coping with it too.
Yeah, or like how to do a breakup without damaging your relationship. That to the point that you cannot be friends anymore. For me, if I start feeling like, excuse me, if I start feeling like I'm the one who, like I said, like, doing all the work in the relationship, and then that person didn't make any improvement after like a month, a few months or whatever, then, I will break up with that person, because I cannot be the only person who won the relationship, right? The way I did it was, I just pretty much straight tell him like, this is not working out. And, we gave it all, but we're just not suitable to be romantic partners.
I like the term de-escalate a lot. Like when I went through a breakup, that's the term I used because it was someone I still cared about and still wanted them in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a good way to put it because, you just want to take things down a couple notches and like step back and reevaluate things.
Yeah, and I think that's more common in the polyamory relationships than in the monogamous relationships.
I feel like monogamous people should know about it too, though. Like,
yeah, but I never heard of it until we became poly.
Yeah, well, it kind of shows that it's not so black and white and absolute. Like, I never believe in absolutes, like black and white thinking. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Me either. And preferably, like for me, I would like to de-escalate with that person.
Mm-hmm.
But he has like personality issues, in my opinion, that make it so hard just for it to be de-escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's so many, so many gray areas and so many boundaries that he's not understanding. And so, I don't have any choice besides like, end the relationship. And my point is like to de-escalate to friendship, right?
Right.
But he couldn't even do that, so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the pain in the bud.
Well, give it time too, I'm sure. Like, I always say, like, time makes things better.
Yeah, but I feel like, de-escalating is way better than, just breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not sure how to de-escalate, so, if, there's this, structure of relationship, I feel, there's like friendship, even though, for people who doesn't believe in the relationship escalator, like me, this still be useful to use because there's certain structure, right?
relationship escalator being the traditional relationship.
Guidelines
Yeah,
or
so it's like boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, kids, retirement.
yeah.
It's like the
Well,
traditional.
but we should start from the beginning though. So it's like, friendship,
Mm.
dating,
Mm.
going steady,
See, I always thought going steady and dating were the same thing. I never knew what going steady meant.
or like serious relationship,
Mhm.
or romantic partnership. And then engage and then married. That's like in monogamous relationships. In polyamory relationships, I feel it's more like the structure is more like friendship, dating, slash romantic partnership, you know, and that's tied with also friend with benefits or sexual partnership. Because in polyamory relationships, I feel like those three kind of like the same level. Like there is no like going up or down for people. And then and then some people are possibly married, and then just there. But yeah, the escalating in polyamory relationship. So if you're romantic partnership, then going down to friendship. But if you're like monogamous right now, or whatever you are, then you should look at like what level you are right now, and then see what the lower level from it is. Then then you can talk to your partner about the escalating.
It makes it sound not so permanent too. Like, I don't know. Which is nice. It's not absolute end all, be all of everything, if possible.
Yeah, and I think you and I did it too once. Because we're married and we're also romantic partners. But I think we de-escalated one time to just like living partner. For a little bit when we work on our issues separately and together.
And I think it was helpful too.
And yeah, it was interesting experience because I do I cared about you and I love you.
Oh, I cried my eyes out, but
Yeah.
I think it was ultimately a good thing to do too.
Yeah, nothing changed besides like we lived together
Right.
and we just didn't have sex or being romantic. Like we still hugs each other. But yeah, that was a good experience because it kind of gave us that separation that we needed without actually being separated
Right.
or being toxic and be like, get the heck out of my house.
Or just forcing it to work when it's not working, sort of thing.
Yeah. So that was good experience. And then after a while, then we went back to what we were, but what we are. But that's what I like about being polyamorous, because the flexibility of like when things not working out for either of us, we can talk to each other and say like, hey, this is not working out right now. Can we de-escalate our relationship until we can figure it out, a solution for it.
Kind of take some space. Space is important.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the healthy way about like breaking up.
Yeah.
But like some relationships, unfortunately, like the one that I just had, it was, I don't want to call it unhealthy, but I want to call it has a lot of drama and turbulence, and I don't need that in my life. So a clean slate of like just like breaking up with you, this is it, we can be friends if you want. And that's the route I chose because I felt like it was like too long of a lot of like negotiating and working things out, and the other person in the relationship just not pulling the weight. And still to today, he still didn't think that he thought that he put all the efforts that he can into the relationship, and it's fine. If someone think that way, then that's fine.
Sure.
And also, I feel like after my breakup, I tend to do a lot of like self-care. And a lot of people think that self-care meaning
Jerking off.
Yeah, jerking off.
I was just making a joke.
Pampering yourself while you're jerking off.
That mental image.
Oh my
The
god.
face mask on.
Amazing.
The candles.
Yeah, face
Celine
mask.
Dion in the background.
With the towel on your head and the cucumber on your eyes. And then somehow you're still jerking off.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Should breaking up more often. But yeah, self-care is very important. And I feel like self-care is not only, taking time for yourself and do the things that you love, but also maybe taking breaks from dating. Because, I don't know, I was not in the mood to go on dates after breaking up, even though I'm polyam. Because like a lot of people in polyamory community, sometimes like, oh yeah, I just broke up with so-and-so, but I'm gonna have a date in 2 days with this new person. And I was like, man, after a breakup, I don't feel like going on dates, unless it's friendship dates, unless like you just said, you and the person like, yeah, let's just go have food as friends. Then, I will be like, yes, please, because I need that.
Yeah, friends seem helpful during a situation like that.
I know. And yeah, after my breakup, one of my friends came over with ice cream. And,
So nice.
yeah, it was so nice. I was like crying because I was so touched, It's nice to know that there are people that love you.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't feel like you're very lovable. And yeah, and you've been really good to me too. And that's the thing. Like, it's so hard sometimes having a partner and then your partner is going through a breakup with a relationship that is not with you. I've been in that position when Jesse had a breakup. And I was just, yeah.
It's hard to deal with.
Oh my god. It was hard to deal with. Like, and especially because I think Jesse went through helping me with breakups like a couple times before I had to help him to deal with his breakup. So it was like my first time. I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, I felt like that's sounds so bad, but I was telling Jesse, like, I feel like I want to divorce you.
It really upset me.
But it was so, oh my god. I think that's like, oh god. It's,
to be fair, like, I'm hard to deal with. Like I can understand how I'm hard to deal with, because for me, like, I don't want to talk when I'm feeling bad. I want space and I want to be left alone. And you're very the opposite. Like, you like to take care of people.
yeah.
So I think you wanted to be there for me, but I was like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want you to look at me. I don't want to like be around you.
Yeah, I'm like,
I just want to mope.
yeah,
Like, that's what I
when
want.
someone is sad, I'm like Dr. Phil and Oprah
Right.
combined together.
Which is like the opposite of what I wanted. So
Yeah.
I think that was kind of tough.
But here's the funny part, though. It's funny because a lot of people, especially people who are not aware of polyamory lifestyle, they ask me all the time, is it bothering you that your partner or husband is having sex with someone else? I was like, no. But then, like, now I think about it, it's like, it's bothering me when they have a breakup.
I was just thinking that. Like, I don't care about the other stuff. It's fine. But man, when that stops happening, it sucks.
Were you like, why do you need to stop fucking my wife?
Get back here now.
I just bumped the microphone.
That's fine. Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Cause like the whole time I was just like, fuck me, you know.
I didn't expect that either. Like the first time it happened with you, like I didn't expect how hard that part of polyamory was going to be.
Well, it's still hard every time I have a
Oh
breakup.
yeah, it will continue to be, I'm sure.
Yeah, and oh my god. Yeah. And also I feel that after a breakup it's good to, after you do your self-caring, and let your partner help you care for yourself. Um then figure it out like what you want to do next, because sometimes people, sometimes I feel, because a lot of people saying like, oh well, monogamous people, when they just break up with someone, they just rebound and having another partner.
Right, I've heard that.
Right, yeah. And that's true too with polyamorous people, because we're just people, right? With feelings and needs. Especially polyamorous people, we want to give love as much as we can. And it's fine to kind of like figure out what you want to do next, in terms of like, oh, maybe set boundaries, like I don't want to have a series of relationships right now. I would be gladly sleep around, have fantastic and maybe not so fantastic sex, and go on friendship dates and things like that. But, if that's what you want to do, you should do it. You don't have to feel pressured. Like, oh, since, I'm poly, I need to be just, feel romantic, to have romantic partners. It's fine if you want, to just have fun and, deal with whatever it is that come after that. Well, how do you feel about that, Jesse?
About what? Sorry.
What?
Ask me specifically. What?
Is Gizmo bothering you?
A little bit. Yeah, sorry. Gizzy's kind of distracting me. He's being super needy. Sorry. What was the question?
The question was like, after a breakup, did you kind of like regroup and trying to figure it out what you want to do next for your next relationship?
No, I didn't really think about that so much. I think for me, I kind of just reanalyzed what my priorities in my life were. Because for a long time, my priority was like you and my other partner, and I didn't really make time or effort for the things I wanted to do. And I think that helped me get through it, was just spending more time on the projects and the things that make me happy, and the things I want to do. So I kind of just reorganized my priorities. And that helped me get through, feeling down about myself.
Yeah.
Just working on myself, I guess.
Yeah. And I also feel depends on where you meet your partners usually, like online dating apps or whatever. I feel if that's not working out for you anymore, it's good to just like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go out and meet real people in the real world. And, and it's not that hard. And, check meetups for poly groups. Also check Facebook for poly groups. I just found this Facebook group called Poly Geekery. So like a bunch of geeks people. And apparently it's a huge group, and they have huge subgroups too. They have like, for people, like subgroups for anime, subgroups for personal, so like people can post like their personal ad, there's subgroup for kink and subgroup for everything.
That's cool. Meetup's great. I met a lot of drawing meetups through it too.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the thing. 'Cause sometimes I read like, some of my friends posted and like, well, just when, just had a breakup and now I guess I have to go on online apps, dating apps, and, find people to date. God, after you just have a breakup, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It was probably, I'm not ready for a relationship. I mean, I would still open my Tinder and just like, cute guys. Cute guys. Creeper. Swipe right on that.
I think something interesting that happened was how you said at the time, like I'm sure your feelings will change about it, but how serious relationships are really tough. Like it's hard to put so much time and effort and emotional energy into something and have it not work out. Like just feeling like it's not really worth it sometimes. Like I definitely felt that way. Like maybe not taking other relationships so seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's a good thing about being poly too. It's like, how serious can you make it be? Right? I mean, it's not. I'm not saying polyamorous relationships are not serious.
Sure.
But the thing is, like, if you believe in the infinite love, right? Because that's our symbol, the infinity sign. If you believe in the infinite love, then you shouldn't be worrying about where is this relationship gonna go. And I feel that's the thing that some of us should like take that off our shoulder. It's like trying to figure it out, where is this going, what are we, I don't know. I just don't like labels. So
It's a good way to think about it.
so for me that makes more sense. But again, even I don't believe in labels, and I don't believe in relationship escalator. I still have issues in my relationship that led to breakup. So it's not like 100% guarantee that if you lower your expectation, or like not having expectation of labels or hierarchy or whatever, that your relationship suddenly will be better, because it depends on the other person too.
Yeah, and that's the thing about our podcast too. Like we can't speak for everyone. This whole thing is just about our experiences and what we go through. Like, I'm sure there's lots of people in polyamorous relationships that are very serious and probably last a really long time.
Oh yeah, I mean most of our friends are. And that's the thing too. It's like sometimes I feel like,
Yeah, you only see like the happy stuff too.
Yeah,
It's hard
exactly.
to say how it really is day to day.
And I think because I have a strong personality,
Is that how you put it?
it's hard to find people that can tolerate me.
Tolerate's a little harsh.
It's like, man, I don't know how to put it. Some people they can just like accept, things and then just move on. I'm a fixer, I like things to be fixed. I mean, it doesn't have to be fixed now, but I need a commitment of someone willing to be in it and let's fix things together. And I think that's the challenging part for me. It's like, if I don't feel the energy from the other person of wanting to put that work in the relationship, I'm just like, and eventually we go like, bye.
It reminds me of a notion that I heard a long time ago that always really stuck with me about how traditionally, like when people use the word love, they're like, oh, I fell out of love with this person. Like, I don't know, I just woke up and I wasn't in love anymore. But I don't remember where I heard it from, but love is a verb. It's not a noun. Like it's something you have to be active in and make it work.
Exactly. And that's how I feel, and talk to my therapist about it. And she was like, and you're feeling guilty, why? I was like, I'm not feeling guilty, but I just feel like, there's something wrong with me, because I see like some other people in my life, like my friends and stuff, that have multiple relationships that, like lasting for years. And here I am, like my longest probably like 6 months, and so it's making me start questioning if it's something wrong with me. And it's just like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you having boundaries. There's nothing wrong with you having needs.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with you when you feel like, you cannot be in it anymore and just walk away. There's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, thank you. That's what I'm paying you for. to tell me all of these things.
That's great.
Okay. Anyway, anything else that you want to talk about breakups?
I think we kind of covered a lot of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
Yeah. If you're going through a breakup, I'm sorry, and I hope things get better. Things will get better.
Yeah.
Give things time.
Yeah, and you can always write us, write to us. Our email address, jessieoliviapodcast@gmail.com. And follow us on Instagram, the same, Jessie Olivia Podcast. Like on our Facebook, it's the same thing, Jessie Olivia Podcast on Facebook. Yeah, talk to us. I mean, because I feel that sometimes it's hard, especially in polyamorous relationship, when you go through breakup and your friends are monogamous and you're like,
Yeah. Maybe don't be poly.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That's what people say. That's why it's not working out. So yeah, if you don't have anybody to talk to, feel free to write to us. We will love to hear your experience, hear your struggle. We will try to help as much as we can too.
Yeah, we're your friends and we want to help out.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, friends.
Thanks, everybody.
See you at the next episode. Take care and be good to each other.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. The music for our podcast is made by Casey Frentum.